Picture this, March 2020. The world flipped upside down, and what did people rush to buy? Not guns. Not $500 tactical flashlights. Nope. It was toilet paper, bleach, and bar soap. The 97-cent essentials flew off the shelves while the overpriced survival gear sat there collecting dust. I'm Sean, and I've been prepping since 2014. Over the years, I've seen good people waste thousands on gear that ends up forgotten in their garage. But when a real crisis hits, it's not the fancy stuff that saves you, it's the everyday basics. The things you can't live without. And here's the brutal truth. Most survival YouTubers won't tell you. The items that matter most aren't in the tactical aisle. They're on the bottom shelf at Walmart or your local Dollar Tree, and most cost less than your morning coffee. Fast forward to 2025 and it's happening again. Trade wars, tariffs, and supply chain disruptions are already hitting budget goods first. Everyday essentials are disappearing fast. CNBC warned about it in April, and the penny hoarder just listed 11 household items facing immediate shortages. Today, I'm breaking down 20 dirt-cheap items you need to stockpile before winter gets weird. Most are under $5, some under $1, and number 14. It costs 35 cents, lasts 30 years, and could be worth more than silver when the grid goes down. Let's dive in. Item 1, strike anywhere matches. Let's kick things off with a classic that's quietly vanishing from store shelves, strike anywhere matches. These aren't just any matches. They're the old-school kind your grandpa probably swore by. The beauty of these matches is in their simplicity. You don't need a striker strip, batteries, or fuel. Strike them on a rock, a zipper, or even concrete, and you've got fire. They're reliable, foolproof, and cost less than $1 per box at places like Walmart. But here's the catch. They're becoming harder to find. Thanks to DOT shipping restrictions, most stores can't even order them anymore. The few places that still carry them? Think Rural King, some Walmarts, and occasionally Dollar Tree. That's it. I learned this the hard way last winter when I went to restock and came up empty-handed at 3 different stores. The regulations changed, and just like that, supply dried up. Now you might be thinking, it's just matches. How important can they be? Let me tell you, during a grid-down scenario, fire is everything. It's your lifeline for cooking, warmth, water purification, and light. And when you're cold, tired, and your hands aren't working right, the last thing you want is to fumble with a ferro rod. You want something that works on the first try. Here's my advice. Stock up now. Buy 10 to 20 boxes while you can still find them. At $1 each, you're looking at a $10 to $20 investment for peace of mind. Store them in mason jars with desiccant packets to keep them dry, and they'll last indefinitely. I also keep 50 match bundles in waterproof pill bottles scattered everywhere. My truck, bug-out bag, kitchen drawer, and workshop. And for barter? A single match can be worth a can of food when someone's desperate for fire. Trust me, these little sticks of fire are worth their weight in gold when the grid goes down. Item 2, plain bleach. Next up, plain bleach. Not the fancy splashless kind. Not the scented stuff. Just good old sodium hypochlorite bleach. Remember the early days of COVID? Bleach disappeared from shelves almost as fast as toilet paper. Why? Because when people panic, they remember what actually kills germs. But here's the thing. Bleach isn't just for cleaning counters. It's a water purification powerhouse. 8 drops per gallon of water, wait 30 minutes, and you've got safe drinking water. That's it. At $1.50 per gallon, it's the cheapest water purification method you'll ever find. Compare that to fancy purification tablets, which cost about $0. 50 per gallon, and bleach wins every time. Now there's a catch. Bleach breaks down over time. You've got about 6 months at full strength, maybe a year at 50%. After that, it's still usable for disinfecting, just double the amount. I write the purchase month on every bottle with a grease pencil and rotate through my stock every 6 months. And here's a fun fact. When bleach breaks down, it just turns into salt water. It's not dangerous, just less effective. The big mistake people make? Buying splashless or scented bleach, thinking it's all the same. It's not. Those additives aren't safe for water purification. You want the plain, boring stuff. Walmart's Great Value brand is perfect. running $1.25 to $1.50 per gallon. I keep 4 to 6 gallons rotating at all times. Use the oldest, replace it, and keep the cycle going. During supply chain disruptions, bleach gets price gouged fast. I saw it hit $10 to $15 per gallon during COVID in some areas. Don't let that happen to you. Stock up now. Item 3, white vinegar. White vinegar is the Swiss Army knife of stockpile items. For less than $3 a gallon, it replaces about 20 different products. Cleaning? Check. Food preservation? Check. First aid? Yep. And unlike bleach, vinegar never goes bad. I've got vinegar from 2015 that's still perfectly fine. Here's why most preppers overlook it. It seems too simple, too cheap, too boring. But when you can't get to a store, vinegar becomes gold. You can make pickling brine to preserve vegetables for months without refrigeration. You can clean every surface in your house, soften laundry, kill weeds in your garden, and even treat athlete's foot or sunburns. And the best part? It's food grade. You can cook with it, preserve with it, and clean with it. Try doing that with commercial cleaners. One critical rule, never mix vinegar with bleach. Ever. You'll create chlorine gas, which is extremely dangerous. Use them separately and rinse between applications. The best deals? Walmart's distilled white vinegar runs $2.48 to $2.78 per gallon. Costco sometimes has 2-gallon packs for $5. I keep at least 5 gallons on hand because it's so easy to store. It doesn't degrade in heat or light. Want a pro tip? Mix a gallon of vinegar with a cup of salt and a tablespoon of dish soap. It's the best weed killer you'll ever use, and it costs maybe $3 total compared to $25 for a commercial product. Most people have one bottle under their sink and think that's enough. It's not. Stock up! This stuff is liquid versatility and it's practically free. Item 4, disposable lighters. Everyone knows about lighters, but almost nobody stockpiles them correctly. Here's what changed my thinking. During COVID, lighters got surprisingly hard to find. Not impossible, but definitely scarce. And when you did find them, gas stations were charging $2 to $3 for a single BIC lighter. Meanwhile, before the shortage, you could get them for 25 cents each at Dollar Tree. That price difference? That's what we're talking about. Right now, you can buy a 100-pack of BIC lighters online for $18 to $25. That's 25 cents each for reliable fire starting that lasts over 10 years in storage. Each lighter gives you about 3,000 lights. But here's the thing. Don't cheap out on no-name brands to save a dime. I've tested this. The failure rate on generic lighters is about 10 times higher than BIC. Spend the extra 10 cents per lighter. You'll thank yourself when they actually work. My system? I bought a 100-pack 2 years ago and distributed them everywhere, 10 in my truck, 10 in my bug-out bag, 10 in the kitchen, 10 in the workshop, and the rest in storage. When I grab a lighter and it's dead, I toss it in a used container and pull from my stockpile. For barter, lighters are currency. When the grid's down and everyone needs fire multiple times a day, a single lighter can trade for serious goods. One lighter equals 1 to 3 cans of food, depending on how desperate people are. Critical warning, don't store lighters in hot vehicles or direct sunlight. Butane expands and can leak or even explode. Item 5, bar soap. Bar soap is the forgotten hero of hygiene. Think about it. When's the last time you saw bar soap at someone's house? Everyone's using liquid body wash and fancy hand soap dispensers. But here's the thing. Bar soap lasts 3 times longer, costs 80% less, never spills or freezes, and has unlimited shelf life. During COVID, when liquid soap vanished from shelves, bar soap just sat there. Nobody under 40 even thinks to use it anymore, which means it's always available when everything else is gone. One 4-ounce bar gives you 75 to 100 hand washes or 15 to 20 full showers. That's equivalent to 3 or 4 bottles of liquid soap. And you can get bars for 42 cents each at Dollar Tree. But wait, it gets better. Grate a bar with a cheese grater, dissolve it in hot water with some washing soda and borax, and you've just made 2 gallons of laundry detergent for 75 cents. Compare that to commercial detergent, which costs $8 to $15 per gallon. The mistake most people make? Buying antibacterial bar soap because it sounds better. It's not. Plain soap kills bacteria through scrubbing action just as effectively, and it's way cheaper. I keep 30 to 50 bars rotating at all times. That's a $15 to $25 investment that handles hygiene for my family for a year. Let bars age in open cardboard boxes for 6 months before sealing. They harden up and last even longer. For barter, soap is non-negotiable. Everyone needs it daily, and it's a high-value trade item. Item 6, toilet paper. Ah, the infamous toilet paper panic of 2020. We all remember it. The empty shelves, the frantic searches, and the awkward moments of asking neighbors for a roll. Yet here we are in 2025, and most people still don't have an adequate backup supply. It's like we collectively forgot the chaos just 6 months after it ended. Let's not make that mistake again. Here's the reality. A family of 4 needs about 200 to 240 rolls of toilet paper per year. That's roughly 50 rolls per person annually. For a 3-month emergency supply, you're looking at 80 to 100 rolls. It's manageable if you plan ahead. The problem is, people think they need a year's worth all at once and get overwhelmed. Don't do that! Start small. Buy 1 or 2 extra packs every time you shop and build your stockpile gradually. Storage is where most people mess up. Leaving toilet paper in its original cardboard packaging in the garage is a recipe for disaster. Moisture and rodents will destroy it faster than you think. Instead, invest in large plastic storage totes. A 20-gallon tote, which costs about $8 to $12, can hold a 30-pack of toilet paper perfectly. Stack these totes under beds, in closets, or in a corner of your garage. Now, let's talk cost. Dollar Tree sells 4 packs for $1.25, which comes out to 31 cents per roll. Walmart's 12 mega roll packs average about 50 cents per roll. It's not expensive, but during a crisis like COVID, people were paying $25 for a 12-pack. Don't let that happen to you. Pro tip: consider installing a basic bidet attachment for $25 to $35. It reduces your toilet paper usage by up to 75%. You'll still want a backup supply for when water is limited, but your stockpile will last 4 times longer. Item 7, salt. Salt might seem like a humble pantry staple, but it's been a cornerstone of human survival for centuries. Roman soldiers were paid in it, wars were fought over it, and entire trade routes were built around it. And right now, you can buy 50 pounds of it for just $20. Here's the thing: salt is essential for survival. It never expires and it has thousands of uses. From food preservation and cleaning to medical applications and winter survival, salt is a true multitasker. It's also a fantastic barter item. Historically, salt was worth its weight in gold, and in a grid-down scenario that value could return. You'll need 2 types of salt: iodized table salt for daily consumption. The iodine is critical for thyroid function, and non-iodized pickling salt for food preservation. The iodine in table salt can interfere with preservation chemistry, so it's important to have both. Most preppers stockpile hundreds of pounds of food but only a few pounds of salt. That's a mistake. Preserving food takes a lot of salt, about 5 pounds to preserve 20 pounds of food. You're going to need way more than you think. The best place to buy in bulk? Restaurant supply stores. A 50-pound bag of pickling salt costs $20 to $25, which is about 40 cents to 50 cents per pound, compared to $2 to $3 per pound at retail stores. Store it in 5-gallon buckets with Gamma Seal lids to keep it dry and accessible. For daily use, transfer smaller amounts into containers. Salt also has some surprising uses. Mix it with vinegar for an effective weed killer. Use it to melt ice down to 15 degrees. Make a salt paste to remove rust or sanitize cutting boards. It even extinguishes grease fires. Stock deep on this one. It's cheap, versatile, and invaluable. Item 8, aluminum foil. Most people think aluminum foil is just for wrapping leftovers, but it's so much more than that. In fact, it's one of the most versatile survival items you can stockpile. And the best part? A roll of heavy-duty foil costs just $3 to $6. Let's talk about its uses. You can cook directly on coals without needing pots or pans. Wrap food for preservation or to keep it warm. Need an emergency signaling device? Foil reflects sunlight for miles. On a cold night, you can line your coat or sleeping bag with foil for an instant insulation layer. It can also be used to collect rainwater, make improvised tools, patch holes, or even create a basic solar oven. The possibilities are endless. There are over 50 legitimate survival applications for a single roll of foil. The key is to buy heavy-duty foil, like Reynolds Heavy Duty. Regular foil tears and punctures easily, which makes it unreliable in real-world survival situations. Heavy-duty foil, on the other hand, lasts 3 times longer and holds up under stress. Yes, it costs $1 or $2 more per roll, but it's worth it when you're cooking over a fire or trying to collect water. Foil has an indefinite shelf life as long as you keep it dry. For barter, it has moderate value. Everyone needs cooking solutions when utilities are down, and foil is lightweight, compact, and incredibly useful. Stock at least 3 to 5 rolls. It takes up almost no space and solves problems you haven't even thought of yet. Item 9. Duct tape. Duct tape is a prepper's best friend, but there's the thing, most people don't stockpile enough of it. They have one roll sitting in a drawer somewhere and think they're covered. Spoiler alert, they're not. Duct tape is the ultimate repair tool. It fixes gear, clothing, shelter, and vehicles. But its uses go far beyond that. In an emergency, duct tape can be used for medical purposes like creating butterfly bandages, splinting broken bones, or securing dressings. It can waterproof leaks, build emergency shelters, and even serve as improvised cordage when torn into strips. The problem is that duct tape has a shelf life. Optimal storage is 1 to 3 years, and it's usable for up to 5 to 10 years if kept cool and dry. Heat degrades the adhesive, so that roll sitting in your garage for 6 years? It probably won't stick when you need it most. My recommendation? Go for Gorilla Tape. It has superior adhesive, lasts longer in storage, and even sticks to wet surfaces. It costs a bit more, $6 to $8 compared to $3 to $4 for regular duct tape, but it's worth every penny. Stockpile 3 to 5 rolls and rotate them. Use the oldest roll for regular projects and keep the fresh ones for emergencies. For barter, duct tape has high value. It's a universal repair solution that everyone needs, but few think to stockpile adequately. Don't be the person with one crusty old roll when things go sideways. Item 10. Heavy-duty contractor trash bags. Trash bags might not seem like a big deal, but when sanitation systems fail, they become critical. And I'm not talking about those flimsy kitchen bags that rip if you look at them wrong. I'm talking about heavy-duty contractor bags, the 3mm thick ones that can handle serious jobs. These bags are essential for waste management, contaminated materials, and hygiene issues. But their uses go far beyond that. Cut arm and head holes, and you've got an instant emergency raincoat. Layer them for shelter or waterproofing. Use them to transport water, organize and protect gear, or create quarantine barriers. They can even serve as emergency ground cover or a makeshift sleeping bag liner. The key is to buy multiple sizes. You'll need 13-gallon bags for daily waste, 30-gallon bags for general use, and 55-gallon bags for heavy-duty tasks. A box of 50 to 100 contractor-grade bags costs $8 to $15, which comes out to 10 cents to 30 cents per bag. During COVID, trash bags didn't disappear as quickly as toilet paper, but they definitely became harder to find. The good news is that they have an indefinite shelf life if stored properly. For barter, they have moderate to high value during sanitation crises, which is exactly when you'll need them most. I keep about 200 bags in rotation across multiple sizes. It sounds like a lot, but during an extended emergency, you can easily burn through 5 to 10 bags a day. Trust me, you'll be glad you stocked up. Item 11, 6mm plastic sheeting. Let's talk about one of the most underrated survival items, 6mm plastic sheeting. This isn't the flimsy drop cloth you find in the paint aisle. This is heavy-duty construction-grade plastic, and it's a game-changer for emergencies. Winter 2025 is shaping up to be unpredictable, and this is your go-to solution for heat retention, emergency repairs, and so much more. Imagine a storm breaks a window in the dead of winter. Plastic sheeting can seal it up instantly, keeping the cold out. Need to conserve heat? Use it to section off a single room and trap warmth from a small heat source. Without it, you're stuck trying to heat an entire house, which is nearly impossible without utilities. But that's just the beginning. Plastic sheeting can also be used to create emergency shelters, windbreaks, or even greenhouses to extend your growing season. It's perfect for collecting rainwater, protecting supplies from moisture, or setting up quarantine barriers. A 10x 25-foot roll costs $15 to $30 and provides 250 square feet of protection. The shelf life is 5 to 10 years if stored properly. UV light degrades it over time, so keep it indoors and away from windows. And for barter? It's invaluable during winter emergencies. When someone's freezing because their windows are blown out, plastic sheeting becomes priceless. Stock up on at least 1 or 2 rolls now, because when the first major storm hits, it'll fly off the shelves. Item 12. Zip ties. Zip ties, cable ties, whatever you call them, these little plastic strips are criminally underrated. For $5 to $12, you can get a pack of 100 in assorted sizes, and they'll solve problems you didn't even know you had. Need to secure gear? Zip ties. Quick fix for a broken strap, handle, or hinge? Zip ties. Bundling firewood, organizing supplies, or repairing a fence? You guessed it, zip ties. They're even useful for emergency handcuffs or as a last resort tourniquet in a life or death situation. The key is to buy assorted packs with multiple sizes. Small ties are great for light-duty tasks, while larger ones handle serious jobs. If you're using them outdoors, go for UV-resistant black zip ties. They last much longer in sunlight. Zip ties have a shelf life of over 10 years if stored properly. For barter, they're low value individually but high when traded in packs of 20 or 50. Everyone needs fasteners eventually, and they take up almost no space. A gallon-sized bag can hold hundreds. I keep 500 to 1,000 zip ties in my stockpile. It might sound excessive, but once you start using them, you'll realize how quickly they disappear. They're cheap, versatile, and solve countless problems. Trust me, you'll want to stock up. Item 13, Paracord. If you're serious about prepping, real 550 Paracord is non-negotiable. This isn't the cheap knockoff stuff with 3 strands that snaps under pressure. Genuine Paracord has 7 inner strands plus an outer sheath, making it one of the most versatile tools in your arsenal. Here's why it's brilliant. Those inner strands can be pulled out and used as fishing line, emergency sutures, snares, or swing thread. Meanwhile, the outer cord is perfect for shelter building, securing gear, making clotheslines, or lashing items together. Essentially, it's 8 ropes in one. A 100-foot length of paracord costs $8 to $20, depending on quality. The cheap stuff from dollar stores might save you a few bucks, but it's not worth the risk. Always check the strand count before buying. Colors matter too. Olive drab or black is great for tactical concealment, while bright colors are ideal for signaling or marking trails. I keep both in my stockpile. Paracord has a shelf life of decades if stored dry, and its barter value is moderate to high. Rope is always in demand, especially in survival situations. My recommendation? Stockpile at least 300 feet, 3 100-foot lengths. It's lightweight, compact, and solves problems that nothing else can. Item 14, bandanas. Bandanas might seem old-fashioned, but they're one of the most versatile items you can stockpile. For $1 to $3 each, or $10 to $20 for a dozen at farm supply stores, you get a multi-purpose tool that lasts for decades. Need a wound dressing? Bandana. Pre-filter for water before purification? Bandana. Face mask, tourniquet, sling, hat, pot holder? All bandana. You can even tear it into strips for cordage, use bright colors as signal flags, or dark colors for concealment. The key is to buy plain cotton bandanas, not the synthetic fashion ones. Real cotton absorbs, filters, and holds up to washing and hard use. It doesn't degrade over time, so the shelf life is essentially unlimited. For barter, bandanas have moderate value. Everyone needs cloth for something, whether it's hygiene, medical use, or utility. I keep 20 to 30 bandanas in my stockpile, with a mix of bright red and orange for signaling, olive drab and black for tactical use, and white for medical applications. This is the ultimate multi-purpose item. It's cheap, lightweight, and takes up almost no space, yet it solves countless problems. If you're not stockpiling bandanas, you're missing out. Item 15. Disposable razors. Disposable razors might not seem like a big deal until you go 3 months without shaving. Then you realize how much it affects your morale and hygiene. Dollar Tree sells 10 packs for $1.25, which comes out to just 12 cents per razor. For $15, you can build a year's supply. Shaving isn't just about vanity. It's about maintaining hygiene and a sense of normalcy during a crisis. It's also crucial if you need to maintain a professional appearance or take on a leadership role in your community. Looking scruffy can undermine your credibility. But razors aren't just for shaving. They're handy for cutting cord, thread, or painting packages. In desperate situations, the blade can even serve as a survival tool. For barter, razors have surprisingly high value. Personal grooming matters to people, especially during hard times. The shelf life is indefinite, though blades can dull slightly if stored in humid conditions. Keep them dry and sealed in gallon-sized Ziploc bags. I recommend stockpiling 50 to 100 razors. That's a $12 to $15 investment that ensures you're covered for years. Rotate through them for daily use, and you'll always have a fresh supply. Don't overlook this simple but essential item. It's cheap, lasts forever, and makes a bigger difference than you'd think. Item 16. Feminine hygiene products. Let's address one of the most overlooked items in prepping: feminine hygiene products. Half the population needs them monthly, yet they're often forgotten in survival kits. These essentials cost between $3 and $8 per box, depending on the brand and quantity. For a 6 to 12-month supply per female in your household, you're looking at a total investment of $50 to $150. It's not expensive, but it's absolutely critical. The primary use is obvious. Butt pads have surprising versatility in survival situations. They can double as sterile wound dressings since they're designed to be absorbent and bacteria-free. They also work as pre-filters for water before purification, and cotton-based products can even serve as fire tinder. During the early days of COVID, these items vanished from shelves, leaving many women panicking about running out. Don't let your household face that situation. Pads are more versatile than tampons for survival purposes, especially for their wound dressing capabilities. Shelf life? Indefinite, as long as they're kept dry. Store them in sealed plastic totes to protect against moisture and rotate your stock by using the oldest first. And guys, don't skip this just because it doesn't apply to you personally. Your wife, daughters, or even neighbors will need these. Stock up now, because in a crisis, these will be worth their weight in gold for both use and barter. Item 17. Ziploc freezer bags. Ziploc freezer bags are a prepper's secret weapon. These aren't your regular storage bags. They're thicker, more durable, and designed to hold up under stress. A box of 25 to 50 bags costs $3 to $6, and you'll want both gallon and quart sizes. The uses are endless. Food storage is the obvious one, but freezer bags also waterproof documents, electronics, and first aid supplies. They're perfect for organizing small gear so it doesn't get lost, portioning out rations, or even boil-in-bag cooking to conserve fuel. Fill them with water and freeze them for emergency ice packs. The key is to buy freezer bags, not regular storage bags. Freezer bags are made from thicker plastic, seal better, and are far less likely to tear. Yes, they cost a bit more, but the durability is worth it. Shelf life? 5 to 10 years easily. They might yellow slightly with age, but they'll still function perfectly. For barter, they have moderate value, especially during a crisis when food storage becomes critical. I keep 200 to 300 bags in rotation across multiple sizes. That's a $20 to $30 investment that covers food preservation, waterproofing, and organization for months. When refrigeration fails, these bags become essential for portion control and preventing food waste. Trust me, you'll be glad you stocked up. Item 18. Baking soda. Baking soda is the ultimate multi-purpose prep item. It's cheap, versatile, and essential for survival. A box costs anywhere from 50 cents to $2 for 1 to 5 pounds, but the real deal is buying in bulk. At Costco or Sam's Club, you can get 5 to 10-pound bags for $5 to $8. The uses are almost endless. Cleaning and deodorizing. Baking soda. Need to extinguish a grease fire? Smother it with baking soda. Heartburn or indigestion? A 1/4 teaspoon in water provides instant relief. It can even be used as a toothpaste substitute, a laundry booster, or to make a paste for cleaning tough stains. And of course, it's essential for baking. Shelf life? Indefinite. Baking soda doesn't go bad, making it a perfect long-term prep item. For barter, it has moderate value because it's so versatile. People always need household items that can do double duty. I keep 10 to 20 pounds in rotation at all times. It's something I use constantly for cleaning, cooking, and more, so I replace it regularly from my stockpile. At this price point, there's no reason not to have a massive supply on hand. It's one of those items that's so cheap it's easy to overlook, but when you need it, it's invaluable. Item 19, candles. While everyone's busy stockpiling flashlights and batteries, candles often get overlooked. But here's the thing, candles don't need batteries and they last forever. Emergency candles that burn for 8 to 12 hours cost just 50 cents to $3 each. Tea lights, which burn for about 4 hours, are even cheaper. For $25 to $50, you can build a stockpile of 50 to 100 candles. Candles are more than just a light source. They provide heat, enough to noticeably warm a small room if you use a few at once. They can also be used for limited cooking, like warming food, and even for timekeeping by tracking their burn rate. The key is to buy long-burning emergency candles, not decorative ones that burn out quickly. Beeswax and soy candles last longer than paraffin, but they're more expensive. For stockpiling, cheap paraffin emergency candles work just fine. Shelf life? Decades. They might discolor or lose their scent over time, but they'll still function perfectly. During winter power outages, candles become essential. Flashlights drain batteries, but candles just burn. Plus, candlelight is psychologically calming during a crisis. It's softer, warmer, and